Okay, so let's get into this. Today we're looking at this really powerful idea, not just a place on a map, the west end of Trinidad.
Exactly. It's not some official line, is it? It's more like a power zone, a concept.
Right, stretching from those, elite spots in Port of Spain, like
Yeah.
St. Clair, Woodbrook, and then heading west out towards Chaguaramas.
Pretty narrow strip, really.
Yeah, very narrow. And somehow it's become the absolute nerve center. Politics, corporations, the social elite. It's all concentrated there.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission, I guess, is to figure out why. Why does this small coastal bit hold so much, influence?
Well, a big part of it starts with the land itself, the actual geography.
How so?
You've got the Northern Range steep mountains to the north, and then, bam, the Gulf of Paria to the south.
Okay, so it's squeezed in.
Exactly,
Yeah.
squeezed. That coastal plain is incredibly limited, so naturally the land there became extremely valuable, prime real estate from day one, basically.
Interesting. And Trinidad's geology is different too, right? Compared to other islands.
Yeah, that's a key point. It sits on the South American continental shelf. Different formation, different feel.
So, okay, limited prime land. How did that evolve into the West End we know? I think Woodbrook is a great place to start, that history.
Oh, definitely. Woodbrook's story is pretty central. It used to be a sugar estate, you know?
Right, until the Secret family bought it. The Angostura Bitters people.
That's them. Bought it around 1899. But here's the clever bit, the real aha moment, maybe?
Come on.
They didn't just sit on the land. They tore down the old sugar factory, carved up the cane fields into housing lots.
Okay, standard development.
Not quite. The genius was who they targeted. They specifically marketed these new lots to what the sources call a burgeoning colored middle class.
Wait, really? So they weren't just building houses, they were actively sort of engineering a new social layer right next to the capital.
Precisely. They tapped into this rising demographic that maybe wasn't catered for by the old estates. It was quite deliberate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a major social shift hidden in a land deal.
It really is, and that's why you see those distinctive gingerbread cottages all over Woodbrook. And the street names, Carlos Street, Alfredo Street.
Ah, named after the family.
After the secret family members, yeah. So they created one of the city's first planned, organized suburbs, status, right next door to power. That set the stage.
And that history, that foundation, it leads straight into this kind of dual identity the West End has today, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You've got that historic residential Woodbrook.
Butting right up against Ariapita Avenue.
That's Cowshan's undisputed liming capital.
Yeah, for anyone listening, liming is just, hanging out, socializing. The avenue is where it happens. Loud, vibrant, very public.
And the street food. You can't talk about the avenue without the food. It's world class.
Oh, yeah. Doubles, roti, gyros, often packed into places like Food Square. It's quite the scene, especially late at night.
A massive concentration of energy.
So there's that side. But then the sources also highlight this completely opposite trend, right? This massive shift towards, privacy.
That's the other defining feature, especially in the more modern developments. The retreat into private space.
You mean the gated communities?
Exactly. A huge proliferation of exclusive high-end gated communities and these luxury high-rise buildings.
Like Goodwood Park, maybe? Those fancy houses in Diego Martin?
That's a perfect example. Or think about the Renaissance at Shorelands, that massive 22-story tower right on the water.
The infinity pool and all that.
Heated infinity pool, gyms, concierge, the works, all private.
And this matters to you listening, because security is a huge selling point. Properties are advertised explicitly as gated and guarded.
It creates what some call a fortress or archipelago urbanism, little islands of affluence.
Where everything you need recreation, socializing is inside the walls. Pools, gyms, it's all privatized within the compound.
A very different model from the public street life of the avenue.
Okay, so lifestyle is one thing, but the power concentration, that seems key too.
Fundamentally. Beyond lifestyle, the West End is where the major institutions are headquartered. The pillars of the state and society.
Like education.
Definitely. You have this cluster of prestige schools, as they're called. Queen's Royal College, St. Mary's College, Fatima.
The places that have historically educated the country's elite.
Pretty much, yeah. Training grounds and sports, too. The Queen's Park Oval, the main cricket ground, is there.
Okay.
Hazley Crawford Stadium for football.
Right. But the political angle feels, even more direct.
Oh, it's crucial. This is probably the single most important factor in its enduring power.
Which is?
The parliamentary seats. Look at the key constituencies that cover the West End, places like Diego Martin West, Port of Spain North.
Okay.
They are rock-solid strongholds for the People's National Movement, the PNM, the party that's been in power for much of Trinidad and Tobago's history.
So safe seats.
More than safe seats, these aren't just any seats. They are typically held by the absolute top figures in the government.
You mean like the Prime Minister?
Often, yes. The Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance. The real heavyweights often represent these Western constituencies.
I see. So political power and this sort of socioeconomic power, they live in the same place. They reinforce each other geographically.
Exactly. It creates this incredibly powerful self-sustaining loop. A nexus where influence is just geographically baked in.
Okay, so pulling it all together. The West End is Trinidad's command center. It seems built on, what, a combination of valuable, limited land,
The geography.
key historical moments,
Like the,
development of Woodbrook,
yeah, that targeted development.
and this really intense concentration of political and institutional power.
A perfect storm, really.
Right. The sources seem to suggest its status is pretty secure. But here's something to think about, a final thought for you listening.
What's that?
This whole trend of fortress urbanism, wealthier residents, pulling back into these very private, secure, amenity-filled bubbles. Could that eventually change things? Well, if the people with the most influence are increasingly detached from public spaces and public services, does that reduce their investment, their advocacy for the public good?
Interesting question.
Yeah. Can a society's power center hold on to its influence if it's increasingly disconnected from the wider public world it governs?
Yeah.
Something to mull over.